How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your pal Cal, and today we're going to be talking about the ESP32-S31. This is a new Espressif chip, and this thing is insane. Like what it comes with and how many awesome features they've kind of advanced from the ESP32-S3 is incredibly noteworthy, but there's a few pieces of misinformation that I've seen around when it comes to like those AI like photo video channels, and I kind of want to clear things up because there's a few misconceptions that I myself fell for in the beginning, but after doing some extensive research, I've come to the conclusion that there's a few things that we do need to clarify. For one, this board has clock speeds of 320 megahertz. That is significantly more than the ESP32-S3, which has 240 megahertz. It's dual core. It's not an Extensa processor. It's now RISC-V. That's fantastic because this new age of RISC-V, well, in my opinion, I like it. I've been a fan of RISC-V since its first conception, or the concept of switching over all the way to RISC-V, although, from ARM or whatever, especially Extensa. Extensa is an amazing architecture to build a microcontroller around. The ESP32-S3 is used in so many projects, and it does a phenomenal job. Whether you're running a small AI model with a camera, or small vision tasks, or just having it control different types of IoT sensors, gadgets, an ESP32-S3 is arguably one of the best options when it comes to ESP32 projects. People have started switching over to the ESP32C5, which I'm okay with, but being single core, you're kind of limited. There's still clock speeds of 240 megahertz, but still, you're kind of limited, just a little bit. With the ESP32-S31, we still have a dual core architecture, and we have a lot of the features that we would have with the C5. And one of the most noteworthy things is the compatibility with Matter, Zigbee, Thread, Wi-Fi 6. Now, this is why I'm making the video. So many people are reading Wi-Fi 6, and some of these videos are posting Wi-Fi 6, 2.4, 5, and 6, but 2.4 is highlighted. So to the untrained eye, or somebody who's not really well versed, he might immediately think this thing is tri-band. No, that's not the case. It's 2.4 only. Now, to kind of break this down as simple as possible, it can connect to the 2.4 gigahertz band on a Wi-Fi 6 network. That does not mean it can connect to 5 or 6G. You do have a lot more, connectivity features, but you're still limited to 2.4, and that's okay, don't get me wrong. It's a very nice upgrade from the ESP32-S3. And the S31 gives you more clock speeds, 60 GPIO pins, which is a significant amount. Well, I want to say that we're at a point where we can have more things and more sensors and more diverse projects where we can kind of just fit everything that we want straight onto whatever project you're working on. This is going to be big with the future projects that are going to come out towards the end of the year and the beginning of next year. And we have the ESP32 coming out, and that's for another video because this thing is actually a powerhouse, even though they're boasting that it's a kind of a wireless module that you're supposed to pair with the ESP32P4, which is okay. It's just, this is way more than just a wireless module. If you ask me, this is the future, but that's not today's video. Today's video is on the ESP32-S31. They now have two models, which they shadow dropped for some reason on AliExpress, on the official Espressif store. You have the Corvo model, the Corvo model, which has a display, and then they have an engineering board, or the dev kit per se, and they dropped 25 of them. Now that is diabolical. 25 of them that sold out instantly. And the Corvo models are, I want to say they sold 75 of them in particular, and I had a chance to get one. It's just shipping was so insanely expensive that I didn't, because that's a lot. I'm gonna wait till there's a normal dev kit without a display, because 4 inches is just way too big if you ask me. So we went over 60 GPIO pins. That's fantastic, but there's also other features that make it just really crazy for the next generation of maker projects built around that device. Now, if you've ever kept up with my videos, you know that we typically like to focus on educational devices that are built around ESP32s and other devices, Linux-based systems, SoCs, rack chip processors, you name it, all winter. We go over it all, and because I just love it. I like being able to play with tiny silicone squares and making them into things that shouldn't exist. It's a passion of mine, and I like it. But there is something really noteworthy with what Espressif is doing now. They are now doubling and tripling the amount of flash memory capable on the actual device. So we're talking about 16, 32, 64 megabytes of flash memory, as well as a whole bunch, I want to say 512 kilobytes of SRAM. They are now loading these little suckers up to like firmware is about to get way more complicated. We're talking about potentially making the most complex custom firmware available on ESP32 devices, and it's available right now for the ESP32C5. You can grab a 32 megabyte flash memory ESP32C5 dev kit from Waveshare right now on Amazon and AliExpress. This is phenomenal because if you've ever, tapped in with like developers working on custom firmware on ESP32 devices, they're typically stopped at around 75 to 80% capacity, and God forbid you activate or allow for OTA updates, then you halved your memory completely. That changes now. So you're about to start seeing a lot more features, a lot more updates, a lot more everything. The potential of building the best custom firmware on an ESP32 device it's within grasp, and the future is now. So that's kind of just the video that I wanted to make for today because it's so exciting that I had to tell you guys about it. This is going to start some amazing stuff. And you're about to start seeing a lot more complex and powerful projects. And if you've kept up with projects like Hailhound, for example, that's built around the ESP32 Room 32, and a lot of people have been like, why aren't you switched to the ESP32S3? And that's because among certain developers, they would argue that the ESP32 Room 32 has a little bit more ass, and that's an actual, term of measurement here, specifically with these projects. But the S3 is still a fantastic microcontroller. I love the ESP32S3, and more people are fanboying out about the ESP32C5, and it is a fantastic microcontroller, but it being single core, we're kind of limited. Until the ESP-E22 comes out, that's when you'll really start seeing a shift, because all of the features that we're seeing now being implemented into the ESP32C5 and the S31 is about to get doubled and tripled for the next generation of the best devices and custom firmware that you've ever seen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys. We'll be back to regular broadcasting tomorrow. Stay awesome. Stay fantastic. I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are amazing. We'll see you next time.